Today's park review is Parc Astérix, located in France. This park is about 40 minutes outside of Paris and it's located in Plailly. Today, I'm going to talk about my experience at the park on Friday, June 7th, 2019. So to start things off, location. This park is located about 40 minutes outside of Paris, and for me, a tourist, getting to the park was a bit of a hassle since we didn't have a car. We took a train out of Paris to an airport, and we were supposed to take a bus to the park, but everything was horribly labeled, so we ended up missing the bus and had to take a taxi to the park. And because of the language barrier, we couldn't just talk to customer service about it, so be prepared because it might be hard to get there. Now, upon entering the park, I was immediately floored by the theming. This park is themed to the popular French comic book, Astérix, which I've honestly never heard of before visiting, and although it would have helped to do research beforehand, for me, knowing absolutely nothing about this park made the experience way more memorable. The immersion was next level. With my home park being a Six Flags park where theming is almost non-existent, it was surprising and unique, and proves that just a little bit of theming makes a huge difference. The landscaping was beautiful and everything just fit really well. So for theming, kudos to the ones in charge of it because it's top notch. It almost makes me think of French Universal Studios, which is awesome. As for the rides, I only rode 7 rides, including 5 of their roller coasters. Pegasus Express, Goudrix, Tonnerre de Zeus, Osiris, and the Tres d'Aurora. And the 2 other rides being a kid's transport ride, l'Espion de Césaire, and their spinning disc ride, Disco Bellix. We went to the park on a Friday, so it was a bit crowded, but not unbearable. The longest we waited was about 45 minutes for Osiris, the park's B&M inverted coaster, which was the star attraction of the park, which I will talk about later on in the video. So for each coaster, Pegasus Express, this was a very fun Gerstlauer family coaster with a fun, unexpected backwards section, and it was a great coaster to start off the day. Next was the infamous Goudrix, a Vekoma looping coaster, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. Since this coaster is on so many worst coasters ever lists, I hopped on expecting the worst, but to my surprise, it wasn't that bad. Of course there were some funky transitions, but I braced myself, and it was better than I thought. And it's super photogenic with several of its elements over water. Next was Tonnerre de Zeus, the park's wooden coaster. This was a fun, classic wooden coaster that also surpassed my expectations. Does it need a retracking? Yes. Is it fun? Also yes. Next was Osiris, which is basically French Montu, with its Egyptian theming, but just like Montu, it was super fun and smooth. Definitely the best ride in the park. The entire station and queue line was beautifully themed, and the interaction with the scenery was really impressive. It was a great time. It was really fun. The last coaster we rode was the park's bobsled, Le Tres d'Aurora, and this was my first legit bobsled coaster, and I loved it. The rockwork surrounding the ride was super cool too, and it crushes La Vibora in comparison. And that was all the time we had for that day because the park closed at 6, which is apparently a really big trend in Europe, which to me is so bizarre. But I guess they have their reasons. One thing I noticed at French theme parks, you can't pick your row. You have to sit where they tell you, which is fine because we're all treated equally. So, final thoughts. Parc Astérix is a wonderful theme park with outstanding theming, a great collection of rides, and quite frankly doesn't get the recognition it deserves. So if they do receive an Intamin launch coaster in 2021, it would round out the lineup even more. Every time I go to France, I'm gonna try to make it to this park. It's really fun. So for the final score, I'm giving Parc Astérix a 9 out of 10. This park is something for everyone, and I love it. And there was still so much that I didn't even get to ride or see yet, so I really want to get back to this park as soon as I can. If you're in the area, I seriously recommend checking it out. So that was my thoughts on Parc Astérix. If you've been to this park, let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, hit that subscribe button, hit that fat like, and I'll see you next time.